Welcome to Kahului Hongwanji Buddhist Temple's Sunday online YouTube service. Today's video is for December 27th, 2020, and our service today includes the Family Gratitude Remembrance. And also the Dharma Message today is taken from this morning's, December 27th, morning's in-person service, live service in the temple. So that Dharma Message has been recorded and put into this video today. So you'll hear that a little bit later. Today's service begins with the Vandana and Tisarana, and then we will have the aspiration for family gratitude. Following that, we will have the sutra verses reaffirming the vows, which is the English version of the sutra Jusege. Jusege is from the larger Pure Land Sutra, and it is a hymn or a gatha sung by or recited by the Bodhisattva Dharmakara, reaffirming the vows that he made to save all beings and become Amida Buddha. So following that, we will have the Golden Chain of Love, and then the Dharma Message. And following the Dharma Message, we'll recite or chant the Metta, the loving kindness meditation, then sing the Nembutsu, and then we'll have some closing words. Okay, so this is our last official service of 2020. So we wish you also a Happy New Year as we kind of come to a close, and then we'll begin again next year with a new series of services. So let's begin our service now by putting our hands together in Gasho and reciting the Nembutsu. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sammasambuddhassa. Homage to him, the exalted one, the enlightened one, the supremely awakened one. Bhutang saranang gacchami, dhammang saranang gacchami, sanghang saranang gacchami. I go to the Buddha for guidance. I go to the Dharma for guidance. I go to the Sangha for guidance. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. Please join me in Gasho now as we recite the aspiration for today's Family Gratitude observance. Today, Kahului Hongwanji Sangha has gathered together to remember all of our loved ones who have passed away, particularly those whose memorials are observed in this month of December. In appreciation of them, let us reflect deeply on the transience, the uncertainty, and the impermanence of our existence, so that we may all awaken to realize the true significance of living. May we live our lives as an expression of appreciation for the limitless kindness we constantly receive each and every moment, and let us seek to repay our debt of gratitude to all of our departed loved ones for the great benevolence that they have bestowed upon us. In deep awareness of the many blessings we constantly receive from others, let us repeat the name which is true reality itself, measureless light, boundless life. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu.
Should I not provide to all for countless kalpas to come, aid in times of suffering? May I not attain Buddhahood, I will reach enlightenment, but unless my Buddha name resounds throughout the universe, may I not attain Buddhahood. I will practice the noble path, wisely, mindfully, free of greed, seek to reach the supreme way, be a guide to one and all. May my power shine great light to illumine and dispel the darkness of the three poisons, and save all from suffering. With eyes of wisdom I'll remove the darkness of ignorance. I will close all evil paths, open gates of highest good. When I attain Buddhahood, light will shine throughout all lands, light brighter than sun and moon, outshining all heavenly lights, giving my virtues to all, not forsaking anyone. I will proclaim the Dharma like the roar of a great lion, bowing before all Buddhas, steadfastly gaining virtues, with wisdom fulfilling my vows. I shall be a guide to all, like the wisdom of my teacher. May my wisdom also shine all throughout the universe, and illumine one and all. If I shall fulfill these vows, may all lands tremble with joy. From the heavens wondrous flowers rain down upon all the lands. Namon Dabu, Namon Dabu, Namon Dabu, Namon Dabu, Namon Dabu, Namon Dabu.
Golden chain of love. I am a link in Amida Buddha's golden chain of love that stretches around the world. I must keep my link bright and strong. I will try to be kind and gentle to every living thing and protect all who are weaker than myself. I will try to think pure and beautiful thoughts, to say pure and beautiful words, and to do pure and beautiful deeds, knowing that on what I do now depends not only my happiness or unhappiness, but also that of others. May every link in Amida Buddha's golden chain of love become bright and strong, and may we all attain perfect peace. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. Good morning and Happy New Year. I can take this off now. Please join me in Ingasho. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. So nice to see you all here today in person. I hope you're all doing well and staying healthy. So usually I record, my Dharma message, and I have to imagine that you're here as I share my thoughts about the Dharma with the video camera, or actually the iPhone. And I'm usually pretty good at doing that because I learned to imagine, that I'm not talking to the camera, but I'm talking to real people that are eventually going to be watching the video. So it's not too bad. But it's so nice to have you actually here today to be able to speak to in person. So that's a really nice thing. So since you are all here, let me again wish you all a very happy New Year. This is one of the first times that I'm able to say Happy New Year for 2021. 2020 has been such an awful year in so many respects that maybe we all just can't wait for the new year to begin, and we really hope that 2021 will be a happy new year in every way that 2020 wasn't. First of all, we hope that the pandemic will come to an end, and we also hope that the people in this country, in this society, will overcome many of the false priorities that we have, probably that we all have, that cause so much disharmony and conflict. Mainly, let's put people and all living beings ahead of profit and the pursuit of power and wealth. That's the simplest way to say it. Unfortunately, hoping won't solve any problems, so we all have to set an example through our Buddhist living of how to live for the sake of all beings. In 2021, we will all have to start being bodhisattvas for real. That's what Buddhism is all about. Well, it's not easy, so we will all have to work on that. But the main thing to remember now is that hoping for a better world or complaining too much about the way things are is never going to help. We need to make the world a better place, and the only way the world has ever become better is when people begin to love one another and to treat one another with respect. Anyway, since this year is coming to an end and the new year begins this week, I thought we might reflect a little on the meaning of the ending and beginning of the year. Have you ever wondered why we celebrate the new year? Maybe it's because it gives us a sense of starting over, and we always need that. We always need to have the feeling that we can begin again, we can start over. It seems that we human beings are very sensitive to the rhythms of life, the patterns of beginning and ending. Every day begins and then it comes to an end. Yeah? Every year is born and then it dies, right? This year is coming to an end. Each of our thoughts arise and then disappear. Our opinions, our successes, our failures, our troubles, sickness, right? Everything arises and then fades away. Our life, every life is the same. There is a beginning and an ending for everything. And then there's also renewal. The cycle of birth and death pervades every aspect of life. The rhythm of life is the cycle of birth and death. These patterns have always loomed large in the minds of human beings because for most of our existence, we human beings lived close to nature, so to the cycles of the seasons, the movements of the moon and the stars, the ebb and flow of the rains, the floods and the tides. The cycle of the year was especially significant to our ancestors because it brought with it the yearly rejuvenation of life, which we call spring, right? In one form or another, wherever people lived. And with it, the growing things, either the wild things or the crops, which sustained everyone for another year. For most of human history, we lived in those yearly cycles, one year following another, year after year, generation after generation, millennium after millennium. Every year, our planet travels all the way around the sun. The seasons progress through winter, spring, summer, and fall, and so on. And so it can be thought that at a certain point in time, the earth begins its journey anew upon the same path once more, another cycle of life. It is natural that human beings from early times have noticed this, paid heed to these cycles, and have decided at some point in the turning of the movement of the earth around the sun, at some point that this is the end and this is the beginning, right? Right? People decide that. And they have observed this death and renewal through ritual and through celebration. Of course, the celebration of the New Year was never, to early generations, early times of people, merely an excuse for a party, right? Pop open the bottles of champagne or whatever, right? As it has, been for modern people. Earlier generations understood that life is completely dependent on this cycle of nature, and that if life is to continue, the yearly death experienced in winter needs to give way to the rebirth that comes in spring. To celebrate this cycle was a way of acknowledging the gift of life bestowed on us through this yearly progression. And now, as for the date of the New Year, you know that not everyone observes the New Year on January 1st, right? Right? In the world. In nature, there is no New Year, right? There's no particular point that it's like, okay, this is the beginning of the year. The Earth is always turning on its axis, right, every day, and then always revolving around the sun. And then throughout thousands of millions of years, the days and the seasons have progressed through their cycles. But human beings long ago noticed that the cycles that repeated themselves in harmony with the movement of the moon, the sun, and the stars, they noticed that, and so they assigned a point, sometimes more than one point actually, that seemed to them to be the beginning of the cycle, the new year. The actual date depended on where they lived, on their environment, their history, their stories, their religious beliefs. So in ancient Egypt, for example, this is very interesting, the year was seen to begin not on any particular day, right? But the new year began when the yearly flooding of the Nile brought new life and rebirth to the land, because every year they had to wait for the Nile to flood to bring all this fertile silt, the soil from the upper reaches of the Nile down to the desert where they lived, and then create this fertile place to grow things. So that they waited for that. But what happened if the Nile failed to flood, which it did sometimes? Then the new year would have to wait until the next year. There would be no new year. This year is the same until even if the Nile didn't flood for 3 years, there wouldn't be a new year until the Nile flooded again. And so then the New Year would be kind of a non-year in a way, you know, a time of, and not a good time because they wouldn't have enough food. But, and then before modernization, in Asia, you know, the Japanese, along with much of the rest of all the East Asian cultures, observed the beginning of the year at spring, when winter had ended and life and growth returned. Today, most countries, most developed countries, as we say, observe the beginning of the year on January 1st, which is just happened to be what Europeans did, and that just happened to become the new year that everyone now, most people now could, you know, call New Year. But in Buddhism, the idea of the New Year can be seen as an opportunity for us to reflect on the chain of cause and effect from which our lives arise, and an opportunity to respond gratefully to everything that makes every moment of life possible. The New Year is not new, not really new, right? It's brought about by the conditions that have developed in the past, right? So, you know, everything that happened before has brought us to this moment, right? So the New Year is not something that just suddenly, you know, brand new in a shiny package, but it's the result of everything that has gone on before. Many cultures have New Year's rituals and ceremonies to ensure good fortune in the coming year. But Buddhism teaches us not to blame our conditions on luck or fate, you know, whether we did the right rituals and have good luck and so on, but to see our conditions as the products of our actions, our own actions, which we call karma, right? We can learn to appreciate anything that the new year brings, good and bad, and through this consciousness realize the most important thing, which is that our true nature as limited and impermanent beings existing interdependently with others in a world of eternal change and eternal renewal. If you think about it, the new year is no more important in our spiritual life than any other day. We might give it a lot of importance for various reasons, but it's not really any different than any other day. Although we're aware of the passing of time, we're always part of the eternal reality of life, the oneness of life, the oneness of all things, which is already contained in every moment of living. We express this every time we recite the Nembutsu, Namo Amida Butsu. Every moment, every day is a new start, a new beginning, just as much as in the new year. The change and transformation brought about by the seasons also occurs daily for us in the journey of the sun through the sky and the movement of our own thoughts and actions, from morning until night. And to reflect even more deeply, please think about this. Everything that has ever happened has created the conditions for you and for me to be who we are at this present moment, to have and to share this unrepeatable moment together, each and every moment. Life is a gift of infinite value which we are always receiving from everyone and everything around us at this moment and from the infinite past. So as we all reflect now upon the ending of this not so great year, 2020, and celebrate the beginning of 2021 with a certain amount of hope, right? Let us bow in reverence and appreciation for all the experiences we have had in the past year, for everything we have learned, and for the continuing gift of life that the new year will bring us. In this way, may we learn to appreciate every new day with gratitude and with faith. May we all learn to appreciate our lives with confidence, compassion, and wisdom, so that our actions will create many future New Years filled with peace and happiness for all beings now and those to come. So thank you once again. I'd like to wish you all a happy New Year, and with all the best wishes for 2021. And let's conclude our reflections now by putting our hands together in Gassho and reciting the Nembutsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu.
May all beings be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. May I be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to me. May I live in peace and harmony. May my family be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. May my teachers be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. May my friends be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. May strangers be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. May my enemies be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. May all beings be happy and well. May no harm or difficulties come to them. May they live in peace and harmony. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu.
Well, thank you once again for participating in today's service. As I said, we are coming to the end of 2020, and this is our last official service, our last video as well. We will not, because of COVID, we will not be having New Year's Eve or New Year's Day morning service in the temple. We will, however, the temple will be open for anyone on New Year's Eve at 7 o'clock for anyone who wishes to come and make oshoko, incense offering, and also to ring the kancho bell outside of our temple. And so that will be done on New Year's Eve. And then I'd like to once again thank everyone. It's been a couple weeks, but I'd like to thank everyone again who helped and participated in our December 12th fundraiser, food sale. that is of immeasurable help, and we deeply appreciate your assistance, your support of the temple. So thank you very much. Thank you very much. Let's see. I want to remind you that there will be no YouTube service, no online service next Sunday, January 3rd. We will take that Sunday off, and then we will resume again on January 10th, the following Sunday. And again, on New Year's Eve, the temple will be open for those of you in Maui. Temple will be open at 7 o'clock on New Year's Eve for Oshoko, incense offering, and for bell ringing. So thank you again. Thank you so much. And let me, at this point, wish you all a very, very happy New Year. Thank you so much. Let's put our hands together in Gassho and recite the Nembutsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida.